Now we're going to look at 1.04. Before we go to the actual assessment, we're going to just kind of look around here at the lesson. Remember that you want to click through every presentation. You want to listen to all the sound files. You can also have a print version by clicking on the text option, text version. It has you practice using different games, and it's important that you use those so that you can learn how to do it. They also have text versions to help you to check your answers, and if you're that kind of a person. You should be listening very carefully to all of the sound files. And we're going to, in this lesson, talk about presentations or introducing people to each other. You're going to, it says, read the following conversation carefully, scroll over the cursor of the highlighted words, practice your pronunciation. Down at the bottom, it says, practice saying the words until you believe that you can say them perfectly. If you need practice spelling, write the new words in a vocabulary section in your notebook. Study the vocabulary thoroughly. You will need to know how to both spell and to say all of the words from your lesson. We're going to click the little next arrow to move on. And now, after you've learned all that, you've practiced, you've taken notes, you're going to do a practice work activity, a worksheet. And again, you're going to open up the file, you're going to do the worksheet, and then you're going to check your answers. You're not actually submitting that. What you are going to submit is when you go to assessment. So let's go ahead and look at the assessment tab. And again, it is very important that you read all of the directions so that you do it correctly. The assignment says to do the following. Number 1, when you think you are ready, you're going to take a quiz on the vocabulary. It includes the introduction section 104. And again, you need to know how to spell and know their meaning for the vocabulary. And you do need to use accents. So again, go back to that section on accents if you don't know how to do that. So that's 1.04 quiz. You also have a 1.04 voice activity. Again, you're going to go to course information if you do not remember how to do that. We did it in 1.00, but if you don't remember, go to course information and again, go through the steps of how to actually do it. So here's what you're going to do. This activity will be graded for pronunciation as well as your correct grammar and vocabulary. It says, imagine you're walking to school with your friend Carlos. Then you see Maria approaching you. In Spanish, you're going to greet her and introduce Carlos to Maria, then Maria to Carlos. After you introduce Carlos and Maria, what would Maria say? How you'd say, nice to meet you, or some sort of significance, some sort of phrase like that. And how would Carlos reply? So you're making up a little dialogue that you're going to do. It says use this organizer to help you know which words to use. You're going to open that up and it gives you, these are some words you would use to greet. These are some of the words of things that you could say after you've met somebody. So it's very important that you look at this and it gives you tips to help. So make sure you click on that graphic organizer so that you know all the parts of the activity. After you have looked at your graphic organizer and you are ready to go back to your lesson, you're going to write that all out first and then you're going to record your imaginary scene. And remember, it is always a good idea to look at the rubric. That is what we are going to grade you on. So that you did it correctly, that your response is understood without any sort of me having to kind of figure it out, that you have good structure and good vocabulary, use verbs, use complete sentences, that you use more than just one, so use a couple different phrases, and that your speech is fluent and your pronunciation is clear. So those are the things that we're going to look at. So there you go. You've got assignment 1.04 Prueba and 1.04 voice activity. If you don't know how to do this, you click back to the lesson. And that is where you learned how to do all of those things. Thank you very much.